Friends, today I will introduce you to this 18 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. So basically what I'm going to do is a bird's eye view of the Gita. So let's start with this. It has 18 chapters, 700 plus shlokas, right? The chapter 1 is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Vishada means where Arjuna feels bad. He feels bad. Vishada means what? It's like a pricking when a needle pricks to you, the pain you get, like that. Shad means Vishada means some pricking inside. Arjuna is confused by the pricking, right? He confused that his own grandparents, his own grandfather, his gurus, Dronacharya, are standing before in the battlefield, that he has to fight them, his own dear elders. So it is like a pricking kind of situation for him. He feels very bad inside. You get some gnawing sound in the stomach, you feel uncomfortable. That's called Vishadam. So Arjuna Vishada Yoga. But that Vishada is good. Actually, sometimes when we are in such kind of confusion, it's very good for us because it leads to Samudra Manthanam. It leads to the churning of the heart and wisdom gets generated. That's how it happened in the Bhagavad Gita, right? So as we proceed, what happens is that the second chapter is contents of the Gita summarized. So he expresses his confusion to Sri Krishna. That is the main part here, right? So what will happen is that he had some good friend and counselor and a guru like Sri Krishna, right? So everybody should have a Krishna for you in your life, a mentor where you can go through in the times of confusion. Because if you don't have, then wisdom doesn't generate. Just like current is generated by the positive and negative, there will be current flow. There are some conditions to be met if the current has to flow. Similarly, if the spiritual wisdom has to flow, there has to be a challenging situation. There has to be a guru. There has to be a disciple. And the disciple should be facing that challenging situation. And the guru should be authorized, studied in the Vedanta, and very knowledgeable, very proficient, and also should have a kind heart, compassionate heart, not a cheater. So when all these conditions combine, wisdom gets generated. So friends, the second chapter is also called as, what I call it as Sankhya Yogam. It is called Sankhya Yogam, second chapter, right? First chapter is called, what is first chapter? Observing the armies. Or it is also called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Arjuna feels sad about and the repercussions of various killings in the war, and he doesn't want to fight the war. And second chapter, he surrenders to Krishna as a disciple, to the counselor, that I want to end this friendly talk, Sri Krishna. Now I want to start this guru-disciple relation. Shishyaste ham shadimam tvam brahmannam. He says it in the second chapter, Gita, friends. So when he surrenders to a disciple, the Atma Gnanam is given in the second chapter. Sankhya means like chemistry, breaking down the world into components. So whenever you're in confusion, remember friends, first thing you have to do is follow Krishna's advice, break down the situation into components. Just like a circuit is break down into components. Whenever you want to study a circuit, you break down into capacitor, resistors, transformers, and all this kind of transistors, and then you study it. So when you break down, the mind gets a little bit aram, a little bit comfort it gets, and then you're able to see the problem logically. So here Sri Krishna says, your concern is that somebody is going to get killed. Sri Krishna says, Atma never gets killed, nor it can kill anyone. Nahanyate hanyamane sharire. When body is killed, Atma never gets killed. So Sankhya means properties of the Atma. Then Sri Krishna goes on to reveal Buddhi Yoga. So the science of action, the breakup of the action, like that in the second chapter. The second chapter is the breakdown of the situation of Arjuna. So you break down into various components. What is your problem number one? You are troubled that you're going to kill. The problem number two is the activity of killing itself. Why am I facing this? Will my grandfather get killed? So this killing thing is analyzed, and when you break it down, you see that nobody gets killed. It's just a vahem, it's just a dream, that Atma never gets killed. So there is a comfort to him so that he can move on to action. Third is Karma Yoga. So yoga itself means combining with the Supreme. So what happens in Bhagavad Gita is that the challenging situation is posed to Arjuna, and by that churning of the challenging situation, his integration or his yoga with Supreme will happen. So because we are consumed in day-to-day life, unless we are shaken by a challenging situation, how will we start the path of yoga? We will not. Because We are so much localized, we are so much zoomed in into the situation that we never think the big picture of why I am born, where I am going and all this. So there needs to be a shakeout, there needs to be a churn. So that is where this Vishada situation comes in everybody's life. But when Vishada comes, you should have a guru like Sri Krishna. Then only it will generate wisdom, it will enable yoga with the Supreme, and you will go to eternal bliss. So karma yoga means action related yoga, that you have to act, you cannot sit silent. Nowadays people sit hours together in meditation and say don't act anything. No, that is not the way. You have to act, and karma is based upon dharma. You are engineered for some particular work in the universe. You can't do any other work. See, I am telling you is that people are driven by market economy nowadays. Market में वो बिकता है, ये कोर्स करेंगे, वो कोर्स करेंगे. अपने अंदर क्या है वो देखो, वो अपना अंदर का धर्म क्या है. What are you hardwired for? What kind of work you are hard for? Are you hardwired for a sportsman, or are you hardwired for something else, for a lawyer, for a musician, or what is it? That is where जिसमें आपको comfort मिलता है, where you feel very comfortable. That is dharma. Find your dharma first, then try to act based on dharma. Dharma means natural quality. Dharma means don't think it is some following of fasting and religious scriptures. No, that is not dharma. Dharma means qualities, natural quality of a substance. Like the fire's natural quality is heat and light. So its karma is to give out heat and light. And the quality of what is it? And the quality of this one, right? Water is flowing, so it keeps on flowing. So like that, you have to find your natural quality which gives you happiness, which is akarma, that even you're doing, you feel like you have not done anything. That is called swadharma. So like that, karma yoga. So yagnartha karma anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Work for the Vishwatma, work for the Supreme Self. Yagnartha karma anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Tadartam karma kontheya mukta sangha samachara. You will come out of all, you will get liberated from all miseries by working for Vishnu. By applying your natural quality as a yagna for Vishnu, you will come out. And then comes, when you do this karma, the knowledge will flower in your heart. That is chapter 4 called Gnana Yogam. Gnana Yogam, chapter 4, transcendental knowledge. So knowledge blooms in your heart. And then you, because of the applying your action in yagna, the knowledge blooms. The spiritual knowledge, Divya Gnan Hriday Prakashito, it flowers in the heart, because of which you will go into further spiritual studies, spiritual master. Tadvidi praniphatena pariprashnena sevaya upadakshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. This happens, friends. And then you again, after getting knowledge, what you do is again you come back to karma yoga, or again refined action in Krishna consciousness, right? Because after getting knowledge, initially you have done something, you go to the spiritual master, you learn yagna, knowledge of the yagna, and then you will not be attached to any other moha of the society. Then you will further advance in your Atma Gnana. This Karma Yoga action, Krishna consciousness leads to Atma Shreyas. Like that. Then after doing karma for so long, with the application of gnana also, one leads to dhyana, internal consumption, inner joy. That is called dhyana yoga. Inner joy manifests. And in that inner joy, a lot of wonderful things happen, that you rupa, nama rupa guna lila, you further get the knowledge of the Supreme's form. You'll get clarity, how my Lord looks, how beautiful He is. Chintamani prakara sadmasha kalparuksha lakshavratesha suravira vipalayantam Lakshmi sahasrasha sambrama sevyamanam govindam adi purusham tamam bhajami. Like that. And then you become more inspired to attain the Supreme after this death. After you leave the body, I want to enter into that higher spiritual realm and get the association of my Lords, attaining the Supreme. It is also the art of dying. Bhagavad Gita's art of dying is explained in this chapter 8, friends. This chapter 8 is art of dying. Art of dying. That is explained. You please understand. Art of dying. So, and then the most confidential knowledge comes about the gopis of Vrindavana in chapter 9. Manmava bhaumad bhakto madhyajimam namaskuru mami satyam te pradyani priyosame. That always think of me, like the gopis always think of me in love. That the most confidential knowledge is, I am open to relationships as a simple village boy, Krishna of Vrindavana. I am the infinite, but I am open to this relationship like a human form in Vrindavana. So please, I embrace all of you. I welcome all of you to come and dance me in the Raslila. manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. But then you can attain this highest, most confidential state by just paying obeisances to me, mam namaskuru. So friends, susukam kartam avyayam, this loving the village boy Sri Krishna is the best form, because it is he happily performed. You can go picnic with the Lord in the cow herding, and then enjoy a lot of picnics, snacks and everything. So worshipping the Supreme as an impersonal form is very troublesome, whereas take him as the boy of Vrindavan, lover boy of Vrindavan, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari. So this is a most confidential lesson. It's called the Raja Vidya. Then it's all this being said, and then the Lord also says, don't misunderstand me that I'm available in this human form in Vrindavana as a village boy, but my opulence is very high. I am there everywhere. It's called Vibhuti Yoga, seeing the Lord everywhere. I am the taste of water. I am everything. Then Arjuna asks, you're telling so many things about you that Sutre Manigana Iva, that everything in this universe, cosmos is like, I am like the thread, and all the pearls are like hanging on the thread. So I am the support of this universe. You're telling Krishna, what is the evidence for this? That is the Vishwarupa. I want to see that form where you are acting like a thread of the pearls. In a garland, you see the thread is what holds all the pearls and all the flowers in a flower garland. So that God, that thread Rupam I want, that Vishwarupam, that is called chapter 11, Vishwarupam, 11th chapter. So then it goes to finally says, you knew about my human form availability as Sri Krishna, you knew my Vishwarupa, now practice bhakti to me. Bhakti to me, that is called 12th chapter. Friends, as if 12th chapter is the end of Bhagavad Gita. So the next 6 chapters are the appendix. So first he says that chapter 13, nature, the enjoyer and the consciousness. What is inner consciousness and how the Lord knows everybody's body, everybody's mind he knows. And then 14th chapter, 3 modes of material nature, Sattvaguna, Rajoguna, Tamaguna. Everything, whatever you see from vegetables to fruits to colors, everything can be classified in 3 modes. Mode of goodness, Sattvaguna, mode of passion, Rajoguna, and mode of ignorance, Tamoguna, friends. So this knowledge will help you, because in spiritual life we have to attain Sattvam. We have to attain Sattva Guna. So how to attain Sattva Guna is by associating with Sattva Guna substances, Sattva Guna people. So you have to enhance Sattva in us. That's where this chapter 13 will help you. Chapter 14 is 3 modes of material nature. Chapter 15 is the Purushottama Yoga. Purushottama Yoga is the supremacy of Sri Krishna. You have to understand how he is the reason behind the sun and the moon, how he is orchestrating the entire reincarnation process, Utkramati, and the soul moves from one body to another, and how this whole material universe is like an inverted tree, Urdhvamulam Madho Shaka. And then you have to, the whole goal of life is to attain that Purushottama Sri Krishna, who is beyond all of us. He is having excellent qualities. Kshara Akshara Atitoyam Pratito Purushottama, he says, it declares. And this confident knowledge, somebody knows Sarva Bhavena Bharata, he worships under the shelter of Radharani. That is the Purushottama Yoga of chapter 15. This Purushottama Yoga should be sung in all auspicious occasions in your house. Be it Shraddha ceremony, be it festivals, be it Guru Pravesham, please recite 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. I am guaranteed you will succeed in life. Yoga Kshema will be ensured. You will elevate to spiritual bliss. You will elevate to spiritual perfection. So chapter 17 is Asuri and Daiva Sampad Yoga, Asuri Daiva Sampad Yoga. So we have to be careful of our, not to invoke our demoniac nature, not to mix with the demonic people, but we have to become divine. That also we should have the idea so that we avoid it. And it's like appendix to it. And then the Shraddha, faith, 3 kinds of faith, Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. So based on the infliction, based on the infection we have, like COVID infection, we are also infected by the 3 modes. And based on that, there is a faith it generates in our heart, right? So when we maintain Sattva Guna, we'll have Sattvic faith in Vishnu Dhasyam. That is called Sattvic faith. Then finally we come to chapter 18, Vairagya, Sannyasa Yoga. Chapter 18 is called Sannyasa Yoga. So there the conclusion is Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja Mam Tam Sarvapapebhyo Mokshayashyami. Don't get confused. There are so many yogas, so many pujas, so many rituals, so much is there, Upanishads and all this is there. Don't worry that you will get lost in that. You just surrender to me. Sarva Dharman, give up all varieties of dharmas, religion, pujas, everything. Just surrender to me, Krishna says. And that one act will bring you back to me. Mam Ekam, to Krishna only you surrender. How do you you surrender, just take shelter of his names, holy names of Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Sarvadharman Paritijya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo. So don't worry, there will be some sins and all by giving up all duties. No, the only, if you surrender to the Lord, the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, that is the only duty. When you perform that duty, all other sins are cleansed. Aham Tvam Sarva Moksha Ishai Masucha. You get liberation, you will be in the highest platform of life, you will attain the flow, you will attain the bliss, you will attain Atma Shreyas, Atma Kalyanam. So that is the conclusion, friends. The brief synopsis of the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. All are different kinds of yoga, but the yoga of love, Bhakti Yoga, is finally the achievement which is told in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is the final conclusion. Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajeshatane Dhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kashit Upasana Vrajavadu Varghena Kalpita. Like the gopis of Vrindavan, try to worship the Shri Krishna. That is what is chapter 9, Rajavidya. So the yoga means yoga of love. When you want to join a conscious entity, it is by the love only. And all the knowledge, karma, everything finally helps us to come to the point of love of God, or natural attraction, ahaituki, causeless attraction. Like a young boy as a young girl, there is attraction. Like that, the Atma will develop attraction to Paramatma, Shri Krishna, like the gopis. Please take this very seriously. This is yoga, and and then any challenging situation, don't waste it, because we don't approach the right guru in the challenging situation. We get degraded, we get deviated, we may get into alcohol, intoxication, all this. That's why the Vishada is very important. How do you tackle Vishada, the challenging situation, as shown in the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita? When you are under confusion, speak to a guru, write to me, or write to any of the people who know the Bhagavad Gita, write to Shri Krishna's representative, discuss with them. Then you will find the nectar of life, that you will achieve wonders. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Please, if you like this content, please subscribe and encourage such Sanatana Dharma content. Serve Shri Krishna by encouraging, by subscribing, by liking, and definitely all of you will very much succeed in life. Thank you for hearing, friends. Hare Krishna.